Did you know that RoboCop 2's original script was even crazier than the movie we got? It involved RoboCop traveling to the future, sexbots, and an all-seeing AI. My name is CaptRobau, and this is the story of the cancelled RoboCop 2 Corporate Wars. First RoboCop was a big hit, with its satirical take on consumerism and its ultra-violence that was so outlandish to be almost comical. So it should surprise no one that following the release of the movie, production company Orion Pictures set off immediately to pump out a sequel. RoboCop had released in July of 1987, but by September of that year, Orion had already commissioned RoboCop screenwriters Edward Neumeier and Michael Miner to write the sequel. Neumeier and Miner were expected to have a first draft finished by the end of the year. This tight deadline was further complicated by the fact that the duo were also writing for another Orion project called Company Man, a movie about the CIA's involvement in the Iran-Contra scandal. This movie needed to be finished before the next US election in 1988. Even though they had a lot on their plate, Neumeier and Miner managed to finish the draft of the script on time. But the script was so out there that their rough draft of RoboCop 2 would also become their last draft. Just as a reminder, the RoboCop 2 movie we did get was quite a strange movie too. It featured cops going on strike, RoboCop stalking his wife, these weird RoboCop replacements, and of course the fearsome RoboCane. If this craziness was what we got after rewrites, what could Neumeier and Miner's Corporate Wars concept have been about then? The movie would have started off with a robbery, in which a group of thieves blast their way into a bank with a truck-mounted cannon. Alex Murphy, aka RoboCop, arrives to save the day, eliminating bad guys left and right. He appears to be victorious when suddenly one of the crooks turns the cannon onto Murphy and blows him to metallic dust. The screen slowly fades to black as RoboCop's characteristic green RoboVision fizzles out. After a few seconds, the screen lights up with a title card that reads 25 years later. When Murphy wakes up, he finds himself in a civilization that is radically different than the dystopian Detroit he left behind. The world's cities have been turned into self-contained megacities, such as New Yorkplex, Rioplex, and Delhiplex. The wealthy citizens of these so-called plexes spend their days on a decadent version of the internet called the leisure grid, eating hamburgers served by food service droids or fooling around with sexbots in futuristic brothels. Those who cannot afford this hedonistic lifestyle become outplexers, destitutes relegated to the endless shanty towns that surround the city's walls. The President of the United States is a former comedian, with super entrepreneur Ted Flicker pulling the strings behind the curtain. His goal is to buy out the US government and turn it into a privately owned corporation. Corporate War's future is even more media crazed than the television-obsessed Detroit of RoboCop. Its airwaves are filled with endless news blips, ads for mood-enhancing narcotics, while the major influencer of the day is a spaceborne rapper called Moondog. RoboCop is discovered by two of Flicker's henchmen in the ruins of Detroit, after which he is repaired, revived, and is connected to Neurobrain, the Plex's central computer system. Flicker's men use Murphy to do their bidding. This includes a coup against the local security commander and brutally removing helpless outplexers from the city's perimeter. In the end, he regains control over himself in order to stop a group of terrorists who threaten to blow up the city with a neutron bomb. Along the way, he is experimented on by a reclusive scientist, has to deal with a violence-spreading drug called Smudge, is helped out by a Chinese hacker, and is seduced by the disembodied spirit of Neurobrain, which actually turns out to be the thought impulses of the reclusive scientist's dead wife. So why was Corporate Wars never made? Before I tell you, if you have enjoyed this video so far, then please give it a like. That would tell the YouTube algorithm to show this video to more people, and that really helps out my channel. Thank you. Anyway, in late 1987, Neumeier and Miner had finished their rough draft and sent it to the studio. The writers and Orion struggled to agree on a story, with the studio turned off by the gritty parts of Neumeier and Miner's draft. The situation was exacerbated by the 5-month Writers Guild strike that started in March of '88. Unable to write without breaking union rules, the duo could do nothing but wait while the labor dispute ran its course. This angered the executives at the studio, resulting in them being fired from the project for breach of contract. This all resulted in Paul Verhoeven, the original film's director, leaving the project. Orion, still demanding a sequel, brought in a new creative team and eventually made the RoboCop 2 that we all know now. The story of Corporate Wars did not completely go to waste though. After the third RoboCop movie, a television series started development. Neumeier and Miner had contractual rights of first refusal for such a series. Instead, they used the opportunity to write the script for the pilot episode. This episode, called The Future of Law Enforcement, features several major aspects of the corporate war story. This includes RoboCop becoming a pawn in a corporate coup, and the city having the central control system in her brain, which also has a human spirit element to it. And finally, the corporate war scenario is reportedly going to be the basis of the upcoming RoboCop Returns, a direct sequel to the 1987 classic film that would ignore both sequels and the 2014 remake. I am CaptRobau, and that was the story of Corporate Wars, the RoboCop sequel that was never made. What do you think? Would this have been better than the movie we got, or was it better that this version was never made? Let me know in the comments down below. If you want to explore more undeveloped concepts like this one, click one of the videos on screen.